Hello all, welcome back to my channel. In the last video, we were seeing the poem Dust of Snow written by Robert Frost. I hope all of you would have understood that. So today we can go into the question and answer session of this poem. So the concepts would be more clear. And in answers, always try to use the keywords that I'm mentioning. When we use keywords, it's always better. There are chances of scoring more. Now we can start. This poem presents a moment that seems simple but has a larger significance. Compare this other quotation from Robert Frost. Always, always, a larger significance. A little thing touches a larger thing. So, what Robert Frost means by this point is that in life, it is not always greater things that can bring joy and happiness. Small things are capable of producing a larger impact, or small things are able to change our lives. That is what the poet means by this quotation. Now we can see the first question. What is a dust of snow? Dust of snow refers to tiny snow particles or small snowflakes. Okay. What does the poet say has changed his mood? A crow that was sitting on a hemlock tree shakes off snow dust. This falls on top of the poet, or this falls on the poet. This unexpected incident shifts the mood of the poet from grief to joyous. Till then, the poet was going through a hard day. He was feeling sad about the day, but then, after the snowflake falls on him, he feels more optimistic about the day. So that is how the poet's mood has changed here. So what is to be used here is that his mood shifts from grief to joyous and he feels more optimistic. So anyway, you should try to include all these keywords. How does Frost present nature in this poem? The following questions might help you to think of an answer. Okay, so here in this poem, the writer uses a crow and a hemlock tree. Okay. Now, here Frost has represented nature in an unconventional way. Usually poets choose to use objects or creatures that are beautiful and loved by everyone. But here what the poet has used is a crow and a hemlock tree. And that is what makes it unconventional. Unconventional means, what the meaning of conventional is that has been followed from a long time. So that is what conventional means. Because the normal trait is to use beautiful things in poems, but here writer uses something that is not used by everyone, and that is what makes it unconventional. What are the birds that are usually named in poems? Generally, poets use birds and trees that are attractive and compared with beauty and positivity. The commonly used birds are parrots, peacocks, and cuckoos, but here the writer has used a crow. Do you think crow is often mentioned in poems? Crows are not usually used in poems. What images come to your mind when you think of a crow? So a crow is a bird which is black in color. It has a harsh voice and is generally seen as a sign of bad omen. It's associated with grief and sadness. These words can be used in your answers like grief and sadness, gloom and sadness. Try to increase the use of such keywords which can help you to fetch more marks. Again, what is a hemlock tree? A hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. That point is very much important. A hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. It has got small white flowers on it. Why doesn't the poet write about more beautiful trees such as maple or an oak or a pine? The poet doesn't choose more beautiful trees like maple, an oak or a pine in order to show his state of mind. Okay, that represents sorrow and depression that is felt by the poet in this materialistic world. If he would have used trees like an oak or a pine, that would not convey his state of mind to the readers. So in order to clearly show his state of mind, he has used a hemlock tree. What is most important here is that the hemlock tree is a deadly poisonous tree. What do the crow and hemlock tree present, joy or sorrow? Crow and hemlock tree both are used to represent sorrow and depression of the materialistic world that we live in. What does the dust of snow that the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? The dust of snow that the crow shakes off the hemlock tree it is used as a symbol of joy. Here, snowflake is used as a symbol of joy, energy, and happiness. So, this act shows the passage of time from grief to joyous. Have there been times when you felt depressed or hopeless? Have you experienced a similar moment that changed your mood that day? So, in this last question, what we have to answer is from our personal experience. Okay, so we can give answer like, well, yes, I have felt depressed or hopeless. For instance, in school, I had a bad day where I was scolded by my teacher. But then, when I was walking back home, suddenly it rained, and this instantly made me feel happy. Like this, you can use any other thing. Okay, so a cat comes and cuddles with you. All these are the examples that you can write. You can write anything from your real life. I hope you would have understood the poem. And in Dust of Snow, or when you give answers, it's very important to use keywords. Okay, like the crow and the hemlock tree, they are used as symbol of gloom and sadness. Okay, and then the hemlock tree is a poisonous tree, and crow, it's seen as a sign of bad omen. All of these words can be used. Okay, I hope all of you would have understood. Thank you.